My dearest readers, what a season we've had so far, and it's only just the beginning. If anyone is a gambler and bet that Lord George, cousin of Miss Isabella Parker, would lose both his money and his bride-to-be, Miss Amalia Schwartz, my cap goes to you. Perhaps this author should take more bets. The announcement of the disillusionment was met with well wishes and accusations at the Schwartz engagement ball. The Schwartz family claimed Miss Schwartz had fallen ill with the consumption, as a result to Lord George's deplorable behaviour, and for both reasons there was to be no wedding. Most are bedridden with the consumption. However, someone looking starkly to Miss Schwartz was seen atop the mezzanine. They appeared unwell, but more of a damsel in distress than a sickly woman. Oh, what a horrid carriage ride she has been on. It seems Miss Schwartz's marriage journey is creaking to a halt. Perhaps there will be a suitor to ride in on a white stallion for the lady. Alas, it is only this author's speculative gamble. As for Miss Parker, she was seen dancing with a gangly Lord Dirk Jensen Jr. and Sir Nicholas. Perhaps Lord Benjamin Schwartz has competition. Does Miss Parker finally have options at her fingertips, or is this one of Lord Schwartz's legendary flirtations, and he'll be whisked away by the new arrival of Miss Zoe, an honourable guest of Queen Mariana? Little is known of this young woman of mystery. But this author vows to find out. Perhaps Miss O'Bryant might steer her dear friend away from such a match with Lord Schwartz and introduce her to a friend of Duke Macartney. She certainly kept the eye of the young Duke. This author has it on good authority that Duke Macartney asked Miss O'Bryant of the prospects of being his wife and went to greet Queen Mariana together. The young Duke seemed confident, but walked away baffled by what the Queen had to say. What could be missing from this match? Although he appeared shaken, that did not stop him from asking Lord Chase what his intentions were with Miss O'Bryant. Lord Chase seemed to have no interest in the marriage market, until now. What has caused this change? Would it have something to do with the peculiar injuries he had sustained? This author believes it was no mere stable accident. All the while, Miss O'Bryant couldn't seem to take her eyes off of her long-lived neighbour. It seems there will be more than one gamble this author is willing to place their bets on. But we will only know who the winners will be after callings. Yours with anticipation, The Beacon.
Willa, you have gotten yourself ready as you have received letter that Duke Macartney will be by at some point today to call upon you. And you, as you kind of come downstairs and, you see that Miss Velasquez is setting out some cucumber sandwiches and some lovely, lovely snacks in the dining room. You see that your mother and father look a little frazzled as they are kind of walking around, and they look at you, and your mother goes, "Darling, you look very nice today."
Thank you. Why do you...
Are you prepared for it today?
What? It's another day of calling, yes?
I do hope that your schedule is not full, my dear, sweet, beautiful daughter. Dear, sweet, darling daughter. Do you not remember what is for today? Who is coming today?
Oh. Yeah. I do know who is coming today.
Roll a mental check.
Oh no, here we go. 6. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Classic Willa. Here we go.
Because your mother looks a little concerned and your father's like, well, I mean, you do have your walking shoes on, which will be helpful when you go show her around town. And make sure that the two of you bond and share lots of things together, as I'm sure, it is important to share with good old relatives. And the door, there's a knock at the door.
No. Gina knows what's happening now. Willa's like, someone gonna answer the door?
Miss Velasquez looks and goes, I would prefer not to. And continues with the sandwiches. And your parents are like, that's quite all right. Quite understandable, as your cousin Mackenzie and her parents, Susan and Tobin, come into your home.
No! I haven't like fully descended down the stairs yet. And I like stop mid-gate. And then I rush back up to my room. Just totally make a beeline. And I make like one of the codes for that Izzy and I made, that it's code M for Mackenzie, and I'm just gonna put it on my window and hopefully she sees.
The codes transcend universes.
Can I? We literally said that we would like make a code that would like make sense. Similarly with fans, you know, if you just put an M in the window, that fucking gets it across. Do you want me to roll mental?
Roll be vigilant.
Roll be vigilant.
Izzy, you've got your own shit going on, my dear.
7.
Yeah, you notice it. You know that Mackenzie's here. You just have a little bit other things going on, because you, from Arthur, as you are having breakfast, he comes to you with a piece of parchment that lists out all of those that have expressed interest in calling upon you today. And you see it is a rather long roster.
Oh no,
you see that Benny is set to call upon you today. You see that Absalom Trench is set to call upon you. You see that you're not exactly sure if she will in person be there, but Queen Mariana is set to call upon you.
What?
And Nicholas has expressed interest.
Okay, basic boy.
Okay, I was like, there's literally no one that she talked to that could make a list outside of like George and Dirk Jensen Jr. So I was like,
yeah, Arthur like shows you this list and he goes, "This is quite a lot. Are you fit for this today?"
certainly not to meet with the Queen. Whatever she might have for me. I've never greeted the Queen, have I?
He shakes his head and he goes,
Well,
she does only have a small bit of time in town, so I do believe she's trying to make her rounds.
She didn't make one last year. What makes this year any different?
He shrugs and he goes, "That is not something that I'm privy to, nor I believe anybody else." And Kumiko kind of titters in and she goes, "Oh, and she comes up to you and in a big whisper goes, "You have a letter, a very important one that I have slipped underneath your pillow for further reference. I delivered the letter you wanted me to before." And she looks at Arthur, and Arthur seems unperturbed.
Thank you, Kumiko.
She curtsies and like tittles away.
Did Arthur 100% hear that?
Oh yeah, but Arthur does not seem perturbed again, and he kind of looks to you and he looks very serious and he goes, "Miss Parker, may I be candid with you?"
But of course, you are always free to speak candidly.
This is a fine list of suitors. But if there is somebody that has caught your eye that is not on this list, please know you at least have my full support, as little as that matters.
That matters a great deal. Thank you, Arthur.
He gives a small bow, and you see him kind of turn away, and he goes, I also do know how to fence if any of these become problematic.
Keep the rapier ready, just in case. But if I am to go through any of this today, I will certainly need a good pot of tea.
He salutes and heads back to make tea.
Izzy continues to get ready, and at one point we'll see the M in the window and just... Damn it. Izzy goes to her writing desk and scrawls a quick message to Willa, stating multiple visitors. One of them is the captain. One of them is and she just like Captain Queen, flirt and
And a guy.
And
a guy.
And he's just a dude.
Literally,
He's just a dude. He's just here.
It's like in a stack of cards, it's King, Queen, Jack, and then Nicholas is a 2.
He's just the 2 of clubs. The most innocuous card out there.
It's just the 2.
Oh man.
He's just that 2. That's it.
Oh my god. And I feel like, what was it? Like, Benny would probably be like the Joker, the Jester. In the deck.
I would think, or
Like,
Jack.
he's there in spirit, but not actually. Maybe he could be a Jack.
Oh, he's the Jack of Hearts.
I'll just write down Jack of Hearts. Just because I think that's fun.
Just for my own personal benefit of the very fun Bob Dylan song Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, which was one of the first 8-minute songs that I fell in love with. It's great.
Oh, okay.
But I digress. Willa,
Yes.
you hear rapping at your chamber doors, and you hear, "Dear cousin, you cannot stay in there all day. You must show me around this town because I have heard of so many wonderful suitors, and I, of course, need to show off the family goods." Knock, 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 knock.
I go up to the door and slam my hand on the door to and just to make her jump back, and she's like, "I heard you knock once. You don't need to do it again."
Well, then why do you dilly-dally? I cannot promenade myself around this town. I'm new. And she tosses her hair.
Why can't you just go promenade with your mother?
Because my mother has business with your mother, as they have not been able to catch up in quite some time. Now, certainly nobody's going to be calling on you today, so you can spend all day showing me all around town.
This sounds so familiar.
Is it just Caleb that is set to...
That is the only person who has written you that he would be calling.
Okay. Well, Izzy... I'm assuming I would get Izzy's letter, within 3 seconds, because she's literally right across the street from me.
Yeah, you see a servant comes by and drops it in the mailbox, the mail slot.
Someone just slides the letter under my door.
They hand it to Miss Velasquez, and Miss Velasquez is looking at you like, "Ms. O'Bryant, you have a letter."
Oh, do I? And then I leave my room and I brush past Mackenzie and I take the letter and then I read it and then I'm like,
Mackenzie's over your shoulder. She was the one with the failed engagement, wasn't she? Dreadful, honestly.
well, you know what's more dreadful is that George has 2 failed proposals. It's more than Izzy. Quite shameful of him.
Oh, quite shameful indeed. I did read that in the Beacon.
Of course you read the Beacon. Do I know when Caleb's gonna come here? Because
Nope.
I don't want...
Mackenzie's tapping her foot impatiently, and she goes, "I would like to slowly promenade past your little neighbor's house. He's on the market, isn't he?"
We can promenade.
I do still remember that he had some rugged arms.
You sure you don't want to go on the driving range?
Roll convince someone.
Do I have anything with my soothing voice? Gain an additional +1 to convince someone. That is a +3. 10.
She goes, "You are so dreadful, aren't you, It stands for gentlemen only. In golf. Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden.
Well, there's no gentleman here. Why can't it be a ladies' game?
I do suppose that I can at least glance over into your pretty little neighbor's yard. Fine, I'll watch you hit some balls. But then you're taking me on the ton.
Looks like I don't have a choice. And then I take her out to the backyard.
You see that she like adjusts herself a little bit and like, just kind of sits up a little taller and is like, these are the finest French silks. I only wear the best.
Yeah, French silk, my ass. And
thank you, Nicole, for the advantage. We love you.
We will use that eventually. I want to hit the golf ball into Josh's yard so like I can somehow like get him out. I don't know, for him to somehow get me out of this. Because I know Izzy's busy.
Roll plus physical.
What modifier do you have for that?
I have a +1, but I'm rolling like shit. I rolled a 6. Wait, hang on. Advantage. I'm using that
Advantage.
Fuck, that's a 1. God damn it. It's a... Literally, this is so stupid. In the first campaign, I dominated in physical roll. This is atrocious.
What did you roll for this?
I rolled a 6.
Okay. You hit the ball into Josh's yard, sure.
Good. Do I smash a window?
You hit somebody. And you see that Josh's father, who has not seen the light of day for quite some time.
Yikes.
Like looks up and turns around and you see that his gait is a little wobbly. And he goes, "What? Who's there? Who did?"
I throw the golf club away.
And you do see that Josh kind of comes out and like leads his father back inside.
Oops. Well, all right, cool.
Mackenzie has little opera glasses on as she's like looking over and she goes, "Boo, his father's a drunkard."
I want to take my 9-iron and then reflect the sun from it and have it try to bounce into her stupid little opera glasses that she doesn't even,
thwart peril.
She doesn't even need to fucking have. +1.
No, she's doing it to look at other fucking people. That's just her.
That's a 10. That's finally a 10 to thwart peril. So can I just like adjust?
Oh yeah, you do it and she goes, "The sun," and like curls up like this and it's like,
Why are you bringing opera glasses out here? We're not even at the opera.
She gives you a withering look and goes, "My dear cousin, do you not know the first thing about ogling men? You can't let them know, per se. You have to enhance your vision."
But you're being so obvious with the opera glasses that do not belong in this outdoor setting. It would be one thing if you were ogling men in the opera, but here you just look ridiculous.
She waves a hand and looks back, and you see that Josh is picking up the remains of what looks to be a bottle.
Oh.
His back is to you.
Okay. Well, Willa's gonna continue her swings because she just wants to stall time to not go into the ton with her cousin.
Roll another physical check.
Okay, finally, okay, so 7.
Yep, are you trying to hit Josh's yard again, or are you just hitting?
I just want to get Josh's attention. I don't want, maybe it just doesn't land in the garden. Maybe it just like hits one of the shrubberies that like divide our backyard or something.
Yeah. It hits the shrub and you see him turn at that point and you see that he looks rather tired and like the bruises on him are still very visible and like he looks really tired and he just kind of looks over and then he looks and sees Mackenzie and then looks at you and goes, "Miss O'Bryant!
Mr. Chase?
Did you not remember? You were set to attend to Susie today. The two of you were going to the Ton, remember?
Of course! Silly me! But I don't want to... So what?
Mackenzie sits up and goes, the Ton?
Oh my god.
Surely we can babysit someone for a little... Unless, sir, if you would like to accompany us. Are you busy?
I give Josh a look like, listen, man, I absolutely hate my cousin. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to. That's totally understandable. You're dodging a bullet, but apparently Susie's being roped into this, so, like, do you want to come with us or not?
Roll to convince someone.
Okay, +3. 9.
Josh looks at you and back to Mackenzie and then back to you and goes, it would be best if a group of ladies such as yourself had a man about. I will see to it that this occurs.
Thank
and he looks
you.
just very tired and is like, I will go collect Susie and we can be on our way.
Very well.
Mackenzie claps and goes, goody.
Willa takes her lucky golf ball and puts it in her pocket.
Izzy, your mother is like fiddling with your hair a little bit because she's like, you have a list, Isabella, a list of suitors. And the queen herself, she must be coming over to tell you exactly who to choose, which was going to be quite helpful and, you know, would have been very helpful last year, but, you know, bygones and all that. How are you feeling?
Well, there's a list. It's everything we had wanted. Options.
Options. And we'll pick the best one, my dear.
Yes, of course.
She like pinches your cheek and she's like, oh, so excited as Arthur steps in and announces Lord Trench, who comes in. He is dressed in a very strange sort of attire. Like he's kind of ditched his regular naval attire and is in finery, but it is very dark and macabre. And he comes in and he sits and he looks to you, says, Parker, it is quite nice to see you again.
Good morning, Captain. You have a very morose dress about you. Has something happened?
He smiles and he goes, oh, I believe that it was better to come in more casual attire than my uniform for a day such as this. As I've heard talk of the Ton that there are those looking to propose to you soon.
Daisy does know that someone is planning to propose soon, but for a very different reason. But she smiles. That would be something between myself and those hoping to propose.
He smiles and he goes, I just simply mourn the chance if I have missed it, per se. Miss Parker, I understand that the Queen Mariana has been visiting young ladies such as yourself.
Young debutantes?
Eligible lady. Has she visited you? Or has she spoken to you?
No, she has not. I've only had the grace to be in her presence last night, but didn't have the opportunity to greet her.
Smiles and he goes, No, you disappeared for a bit of the night, didn't you?
I was watching the lovely artwork be made by
Roll to convince someone.
Lady Charlotte O'Bryant and her new protege.
The advantage that Nicole
I
has.
am used. That advantage doesn't exactly work, but I don't know what I have to convince someone either. Yeah, no, that's a 5.
Oh.
You see that Absalom is keeping a smile on his face until like you see like some of the servants that are working in the background are not really paying attention, and you see that your parents are like essentially giving you a bit of privacy to have this conversation as they're like in the corner, and Absalom Trench leans over the table and goes, "I saw you go up to the mezzanine, Miss Parker. There seemed to be a little songbird up there that perhaps you were entertaining a tune from."
Izzy leans forward a little bit as well. Captain, I have the faintest idea what you're trying to imply.
He smiles and he goes, "There's a lot of things that you learn at sea, Miss Parker. And it is that some people believe themselves to be quite good deceivers, but are not as slick as they appear. Much like the waves, things can turn on a dime. I want you to keep that in mind and make sure that you always have safe." He extends a cold hand and squeezes yours quickly and takes it back as he stands and goes, "I will be having a conversation with your father, Miss Parker, and I advise you to not believe anything Queen Mariana or any of her little protégés say."
Is that? Are you on not good speaking terms with the Queen yourself?
He straightens up a little bit and he goes, "There are some actions that people take that are best left in the deep dark, my dear." And he like stands, kind of clicks his heels and goes, "Lord Parker, might I have a word?" And your dad is like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
No.
The two men go outside to chat and your mom comes by and is like, "He's quite prompt. Quite early. In the morning. Comes very quickly for what he desires, it seems."
Izzy has a book with her, and she is turning pages. Yes, it seems he was quite early and didn't make a point at all.
"You seem disinterested, my dear."
That is because I am, Mother.
Darling, I understand he is a bit your senior, but...
Oh, that is not exactly it either.
Do not be rude.
He is intolerable. He is a know-it-all. He is extremely rude on his own. Mother, he is of every man that you ever warned me about. Controlling. Demanding. And if I have one choice in this life, it would not be to choose him.
Your mother doesn't need you to roll a convince someone because she looks back and she goes, "Do not shoot your chances away, Isabella, if he's the only viable option."
He's not the only viable option, and I will have that proven to you by the end of the day.
There's a knock at the door, and we go back to Willa.
All right.
Are you preparing to go to the Ton?
I guess I am. I mean, Willa didn't really have any plans today because today was calling day, aka driving day. So she was mostly just going to be golfing out in the backyard. And she maybe wanted to do fencing too, but Izzy is hung up by like a million suitors. And Arthur is also busy catering to them, so she can't do that. So she has her little casual outing reticule and I don't know, whatever stupid shawl that Regency people wear when they go outside.
Mackenzie has a very large parasol and like sun hat and like any accessory she can. And you see that Josh is standing on the step with Susie at his side, and you see that Susie looks her fucking turbed.
I give Susie I am so sorry look. And I also give the same look to Josh, but also thanks for coming.
He nods and motions to the carriage that he has procured for the group.
Okay.
And Mackenzie goes, "A carriage for me?"
It's a carriage for all of us, you dingus.
And Josh looks and goes, "Yes, it is a carriage for all. Figured we would be efficient." And
No, knowing my cousin has very poor physical capabilities of walking more than 20 paces.
he turns and just goes, "Why does everyone suppose I'm not a good walker? I can walk perfectly fine."
Oh, so then
And
I don't need
I need you to roll a luck check.
Oh boy. 11.
She starts walking towards the carriage, and you see her catch her shoe in a cobblestone and trips, and she starts to stumble.
I don't do anything to help her.
Neither does Josh. So she
Propriety be
stumbles,
damned.
and she goes, "That's quite rude that you, sir, should have helped a lady when she was in distress."
Cousin, why don't you take the carriage and we will walk and we will meet you there at the plaza.
Roll to convince someone.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, hang on. I'm using the advantage.
Do it.
There was 2? Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, random gave another one last minute, but like we didn't see it until now. 8.
Yeah. She looks at it and looks back, and you see that Josh goes, "Yes, it would really benefit you, as the stones in town are much more smooth."
And you had such a long travel here, cousin. It's best if you just sit in the carriage.
And she goes, "It will reserve my constitution, so I suppose." And she clambers up, and the carriage takes off.
Well, I was gonna walk even slower and me just
And you see that you are bracketed by both Chase siblings, and you see Josh kind of looks at you, and he holds out his arm.
I take his arm.
He's got you. And you see Susie look over, and she goes, "Am I to be chaperoning the two of you?"
This isn't a calling promenade. This is escorting my cousin, who is 100 feet away from us now. As I watch the carriage.
And it is the three of us only. If I were to say, step away and find myself preoccupied, you two would be rather scandalous. And she like gives a pointed look to Josh, who kind of tightens and is like, "Which is why you're going to be staying right here, Susie." And she kind of looks at you and narrows her eyes a little bit. She goes, "So, Miss O'Bryant, how's the courting season been treating you?"
I want it to be over with.
She smirks and goes, "Oh, are you not enjoying Duke McCartney doting all over you? Or are you just that excited to get married?" And she gives her brother another pointed look.
Is this bully Josh day?
That's every day.
It's every day, honestly. This is just special. Willa thinks about it for a minute, and she says, "Well, Duke McCartney is nice. I'm not certain on him."
Roll a glimpse of the truth.
Ooh, that's mental.
It is.
Come on.
Is that your neg 1? Please.
No, it's a 0. It's a 0. 4. I
You
leveled up.
don't notice anything between the Chase siblings. And
Can we the
you hear Susie kind of go, I mean, granted, it is both of our first seasons, is it not?
It is. How is the courting season for you, Susie?
Susie rolls her eyes and she goes, honestly, it's all a bunch of... And she looks at Josh, who's kind of like giving her a look, and she goes, I just simply haven't found somebody who resonates. Perhaps it'll be next season, or perhaps the season after that.
Perhaps.
Do you see yourself spending another season courting, or?
Frankly, I haven't really... I've been thinking this whole courting season is a joke, more or less. I don't know.
Josh looks over and goes, a joke.
I'm not taking it seriously because I truly don't believe I will be married anytime soon because I'm too brash for this delicate, polite society I found myself in.
His arm tightens around yours and goes, do not sell yourself short, Miss O'Bryant. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
You are currently being sought after by one of the most eligible bachelors in the... And if you can't see that, then that's ridiculous.
I do appreciate the sentiment, but I've also received some strange signals from multiple members in society about Duke McCartney's personality quirks here and there, and it's...
Roll to be vigilant.
Oh my god! Here we go. 12!
You feel like
Awkward.
you feel that Josh kind of tenses beside you and goes, what sorts of strange things? Just as you hear the carriage in front of you stops as another carriage is like almost like T-boned it. And when you see like these horses are like, oh, we're horses, what's going on here? And the two footmen are kind of like bickering at each other, and you see that out of the other carriage pokes one Caleb McCartney who is on his way to call upon you.
Holy shit!
And he looks and he sees you with the chases. And his smile remains, but he steps out and starts walking your way very purposefully.
I whisper to Josh and I say, I'll tell you more about it, but it seems like he's not agreeable for, I don't know how to word
So
it.
Brian,
Hello!
it's wonderful to see you. You received my note, yes?
Yes, but I failed to see a time of which you were going to call upon, because you see, my cousin decided to grace me with her presence, and she...
As you say that, Mackenzie bursts from the carriage and goes, hello, and falls on her face.
I don't move to help her. I just continue.
Not one of you fuckers moves. And leaving the poor footman to deal with her. And Caleb looks and he goes, so you believed that a promenade with Lord Chase was in order?
I am more of my cousin insisted on promenading in town, and my cousin has terrible sensibilities of physical endurance, and we insisted that she use the carriage and she go ahead of us because I'm such a caring cousin.
Roll to convince someone.
Yeah, right. All right. Plus 3. 11 plus 3 is 14.
He smiles and he goes, she does look as though she needs extra care.
Indeed.
That is quite kind of you. And to take along two sad little puppies as well. As he looks at Josh, and you see Josh stands up a little taller and goes, Duke McCartney, you may insult me however you fucking like. You leave my sister out of it. And you see Caleb looks over and goes, oh, Miss Chase, you are Crystal's acquaintance. Yes, I know. I've heard much about you, dear. And you see that she looks a little unsettled that he knows a reaction to Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb looks back to you and goes, well, I had truly wanted to call upon you, and it is rather important. Miss O'Bryant, will you be long in town? I do need to have a lengthy discussion with father.
Willa stiffens up and she like her grip on Josh just tightens ever so slightly on his arm.
Mm-hmm. Josh is holding you as well and goes, what kind of conversation, Duke? Anything you could say in front of her father, you can say in front of her. And you see that Caleb looks and goes, Lord Chase, you've never been in this position before, have you? That's why you don't know all the etiquette. That's quite all right. He pats the top of his head and goes, you'll learn someday.
Oh my god.
And looks back to you, Willa, and goes, would you mind if I went to speak with your father today?
You feel free?
He smiles and
Willa's thinking like how stressed her father was when her cousin came over. I can't imagine how much of a mess he would be when Caleb comes and there's no one else in the house besides his wife.
And Miss Velasquez. She'll be there. But you see Caleb goes, goody, I believe I'll take the rest of the route on foot then. It seems as though my footman's a bit preoccupied. I'll be waiting for you. So don't be too long, I hope.
That all depends on how my cousin fares exploring the ton.
His smile kind of twitches and he goes, right, your cousin.
My cousin.
And he looks between the Chase siblings and then you hear Mackenzie goes, quit right now! It'd be nicer if there was a Duke over here to help me with my ankle.
I look at Caleb and I'm like, just get out of here, man. You're dodging a bullet.
Caleb smiles and
It's
goes,
like, even if I think your personality is weird, like, get out.
No one deserves Mackenzie. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. No.
Yeah, he smiles and he's like, you have fun today, Miss O'Bryant.
I'll try.
And he looks to Josh and goes, keep her warm for me. And heads off. And Josh like watches him go and like his grip on you is rather tight.
Yeah.
He goes, are you seriously considering marrying him?
I don't know. She waits.
Willa.
She waits for Caleb to walk farther away so he doesn't hear. And I'm assuming Mackenzie is doing whatever she's doing out in the carriage.
You guys are close enough to the like town square that you can walk there now. So she has just started kind of going, and you see that Susie is like starting to kind of walk a little bit faster to at least keep the group together.
Mm-hmm.
Giving you and Josh a little bit of privacy.
Oh. Well, I continue with Josh and I say, continuing with our discussion about his personality-wise, he seems a rather of an alarming sense of possessiveness. From what I've heard from other socialites.
Seeing you as property?
Yeah, that's the part where I draw hesitation because that's... Yeah, I don't know if...
Willa, this is... Miss O'Bryant, this could be dangerous if you are going into a situation where a man has never been told no. If you plan to tell him no, there could be repercussions, but...
What if I say yes then?
If you say yes, then you're entrapping yourself!
Exactly! So what do I do?
You see that Josh is starting to turn a little bit like red as he kind of looks away and he goes, if someone were to say, propose to you before he got the chance and you were to say yes, then perhaps that could stave him off. It's not a foolproof plan, as, again, he has more money than the entire country, I believe. And he could do whatever he wanted to get what he wants. But I don't want you in that situation.
Oh. Willa blushes a little bit at that statement. And she says, well, if someone, I don't know who in the world would want to propose to me, but if someone did, I do not want them to be the next target for the Duke if he gets too upset.
He gives you a kind of withering look and goes, Mr. O'Brien, did you not witness the conversation that just occurred? I believe I'm a target already.
Wait, are you suggesting?
He stops, and you see that Susie is unfortunately talking to Mackenzie as the two of them promenade.
Oh no.
And he stops and he like turns to face you, and his hands slide down to yours. He goes, Willa, I do not have even a fraction of what Duke Caleb McCartney can offer you in terms of the comforts of an easy life. My family is rich in essentially name only currently. And I'm working very hard to establish a dowry for Susie. And to ensure that my father doesn't ruin any more than he already has. But if you just need someone to save you from this, I can be that person. And he, you see him fish in his pocket, and he pulls out just like a little piece of twine that he's had, and he ties a little knot in it into the semblance of a ring, and he goes, you have an out with him if you need. And he presses it into your hand.
Wow, thank you.
He nods and he goes, we're surviving this courting season somehow.
Indeed.
So, if you want that, it's a placeholder for something better.
And also, luckily, I don't spend as much as my dear, loving cousin over there.
You see that Mackenzie has dragged Susie to the finest dressmaker shop is like pointing to certain things, and Susie is kind of like rolling her eyes a little bit because Susie has seen the finest dresses. Susie's friends with Crystal. She's seen she's seen finery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see that Josh kind of looks back and goes, yeah, you won't spend me out of house and home. But I'm serious, Willa. If you want Duke McCartney, then fine. But if you don't, if there's any bit of you that doesn't, I'm here.
Okay. I'll consider it.
He looks a little crestfallen at that, but he nods and goes, yeah, you gotta weigh your options.
It's just more of the fact that you just brought this up in the middle of the day, and I have...
He goes, what are you supposed to do? There's not exactly a good time to talk about this kind of thing.
Well, that's where there's just the beacon. She could be anywhere.
Are you really afraid of the beacon?
No, but if
who even reads the beacon?
Literally everyone in the ton does.
Except you.
Except you.
I mean, I peruse it occasionally, but I don't read it.
Josh, and I like poke my fan into like his shoulder, and I'm like, Josh, the beacon is some sort of omnipresent being that somehow just collects information out of nowhere. The beacon has collected information that wasn't even loudly publicly announced yesterday, and yet the beacon knew everything. So, just so you know, like, more targets, essentially, if the beacon does catch wind of this. So,
Are you that embarrassed of me, then?
No, I...
Roll to convince someone.
10.
He kind of settles and he goes, my apologies. It's when you're up against Duke McCartney, it is rather emasculating.
It's just I've been used to this, like, the scrutiny of the public eye. I just don't want that to happen to you, considering that you've had your fair share.
He smirks and he goes, my father is a drunkard and my sister is not been entertaining men recently. There's plenty for folks to talk about with my family.
Well, I just don't want more people just talking.
He shrugs and kind of looks away and he goes, I am serious about that just being a placeholder. My other sources of income have been quite nice. And we're rebuilding, at least.
I sneakily take his hand and I say, okay, but just don't overwork yourself. And I brush my thumb over his knuckles where he was punching really hard and stuff. I mean, your hands are nice. Willa doesn't know why in the world she said that, and she just blanks out for a second.
He takes your hand and with both of his and brings it up to his chest and just kind of holds it there for a minute, and you feel that his heart is hammering. He's like, I'll do what I can. And he gives you a squeeze, and we're going back to Izzy.
I muted myself twice to fucking scream. Side note. Is there a way that Izzy can do a thing to Josh's dad?
What kind of thing?
Make him see an image of his dead wife saying that you need to get your act together.
Just magically induce him to stop drinking.
Roll your divination?
Little fucked up, but okay.
Yeah, it's fucked up, but I love it.
A little fucked up, but okay. Come on.
No.
Oh.
Even using advantage is gonna not really help.
What'd you roll?
A 3.
Yeah. He sees his dead wife.
All the time. That's why he drinks.
But yeah, it is essentially he drinks to banish the spirit with spirits.
Oh.
I was Izzy's I want him to, and I was I don't know how to help this man. Maybe calling on the spirit of his wife will help, but she doesn't know how to do that.
I thought you could do,
well, anyways.
I thought you could do seance parlor tricks because that was a thing back then, right?
It sure was.
It's probably Izzy tried it, but she probably didn't know what she was doing. But she wanted to help out Josh. because
Yeah.
being bruised up is not a good thing. And then if her friend mayhaps be making eyes at him, it would also be helpful for them to not be broke.
Could be helpful.
Or a drunkard dad.
Yeah.
Anyways, that didn't work.
But you, after you have consorted with the spirits about said matter, you come back into your drawing room and there is a there.
What?
And Zoe is sitting on your sofa.
Oh,
And her hands are folded and she looks up at you and goes, Miss Parker, hello.
Hello. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of making an acquaintance before.
No, I am. She curtsies to you and she goes, I'm Zoe. I am here on official business from Queen Mariana. Sit.
Z nods and gestures for her to sit.
She's rather disappointed that you did not come by with any sort of suitor to see your match capabilities. Is there a reason you did not?
I did not believe that. I did not know that was an open invitation for all to do.
Certainly it was. The Queen does not make visits very often, but she felt something rather important about coming to visit this Ton. This year.
Well, how kind of her to do so.
Miss Parker, you have many lovely pieces in this room. Your cards especially are quite intricately designed. May I see them?
No. I do apologize, but I
Roll
do
a mental
not let
check.
other
11.
You see that she looks sad at that. She goes, mightn't you do a reading for me? I'd like to see you at work.
How open are people with witchcraft, like divination at this point in time?
It's pretty chill.
I think it's just parlor tricks.
Yeah, it's parlor tricks. It's something fun. It's not like there's not like a satanic panic. It's more in like a spiritualist revival kind of thing.
No
Cool.
sale
So it's
witch
like-
Why did double
trials.
check?
People are cool.
I
Like
saw-
it's not like the most socially acceptable thing, but it's like people are like, "Oh, that's fun."
I saw Goody Parker with the devil.
Yeah, no one's seeing Goody Parker with the devil currently. Like the pendulum is swung the other way where they're like, pretty tight.
Okay, cool. I have only met like one person who was like truly like with their cards, but that she wouldn't let anyone else touch them because it was a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
It was very funny. But Izzy like picks up her cards. I would be happy to oblige, although this is only just really a parlor trick for many. All you have to do is think of whatever question that you would like asked, and think only of that, and I'll read your cards.
Roll that divination roll.
Hand.
You pull 2 cards. You pull the Lover's Reverse and you pull the World Reversed. And Zoe kind of looks and she goes, "Oh, that does answer my question. You're in trouble, Miss Parker."
For me, what does that say?
So essentially having the Lovers World Reversed showcases major upheaval and discord in relationships. So it's like something is going to be problematic and something is like a dire change is about to occur.
Okay.
She looks and she goes, "It is a little unsettling. Do you know where your lover is?"
So sorry, what was your question?
I asked how things were going to go for you coming up.
How funny. for
Queen
you to say
Mariana
that.
was rather intrigued by you. Would have liked to have gotten a closer look at you, as it seems as though
Your true match is a little unconventional, like that of your friend Miss O'Brien.
Well, Miss O'Brien is a very unconventional person.
Would you consider yourself unconventional?
I would ask what does the second card say?
It was the lovers and the world. So like the world is like your status, and having that reversed shows like
Okay.
an upheaval of that.
Izzy, when asked like if she thought she was conventional, takes the 2 cards back and shuffles it back into her deck.
Well, I appreciate your visit and concern as well. How can we say who is conventional and who is unconventional? Who are we to say that we know what the cards say when we see them? For truly, it is merely a guide, and our interpretation is our own. And truly, perhaps my world might be turned upside down. Perhaps that's by marriage. Perhaps that's by my friends being engaged. But that's always up to interpretation. Isn't it? Isn't that
Zoe nods.
what these parlor tricks are for?
She smiles and she goes,
You have a way with words, Miss Parker. Could you thwart peril for me really quick?
The fact that you say that
She
he like
whips-
Zoe's.
She whips out a dagger out of her reticule and tries to make a move at Izzy.
It's a clash. Let's go. Go.
Damn.
That's an 8. I rolled a 9, but I have a -1 to physical, and I don't have the thwart roll mental for thwart peril, the thing that I used to have.
She stands and she goes, Well, I do believe that I should be making room as there are going to be others interested in seeing you today. I do hope that you and Miss Amalia figure things out.
and she smiles and she curtsies and goes,
Toodaloo.
Izzy stands and bows to see her out. She never read the message from this morning. Can she rush upstairs and read that letter real quick?
you see
Delightful.
that it is it is not exactly a letter. It is a piece of embroidery work that is unfinished. And it is what looks to be a depiction of like a seaside, like cliffside seaside village. And it is like half done and the needle is stuck in it.
Okay. Do I know this place?
Roll me a mental check.
N.
You, from context clues, are able to like ascertain that this is essentially the seaside village that young ladies who are feeling ill are sent to heal them with the seaside air.
Oh, jeez. Fucking. Izzy curses very profusely.
There is Arthur comes like up to your room and goes, Miss Parker, I do apologize for interrupting your private time, but there's someone with a rather important message. And you hear from behind you, it's really urgent, I promise. And
Sam?
it's Sam.
Izzy like leaps up from her side of the bed, tossing the embroidery onto the pillow. Sam, you have excellent timing. Come right in.
And Arthur looks between the two of you, and you see that Sam is haggard and like is looking and goes, Miss Parker, I do apologize for coming in so unannounced and
That is fine. That is fine. How is she?
she's in a carriage. They've sent her away. She was apparently not getting better. And And Benjamin's currently trying to stop the carriage, and that's why he cannot call upon you today. He is greatly apologetic as he was going to put things into motion, and Miss Parker, I'm quite afraid.
What has changed that made them send her away? What changed? What specific thing happened that said from yesterday when she was just locked in her room to today? What changed?
They said she was not getting better.
What does that mean?
They shake their head and they go, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm rather concerned, and I didn't know what to do.
What's Bunny doing trying to stop them?
He thinks that he can take her place still. If he stages some kind of carriage accident, then they can trade places and she can marry you in his stead.
But then he'll go to the seaside town.
Go to the seaside. Yes, I understand that. And you see that Sam kind of like collapses to the ground and goes, It is not my place to be having these feelings, but I felt it rather important to let you know all goings on and to hope that you could talk sense into them. Or to use your influence or something. You're a rather important lady.
The important people are my parents. And more importantly, my father. There's no place for me, and the only important decision I ever have in my life is to say yes to a man who asks for my hand.
Sam kind of shrugs and goes, It beats, the choice of choosing what dish to polish the china with. They kind of look and go, An inappropriate time for a joke, I understand, but Miss Parker, I didn't know where else to turn. I cannot trust Lord and Lady Schwartz. I cannot talk sense into Benjamin, as he loves his sister more than he loves himself. And though admirable that may be, I'm afraid I love him a little bit too much for him to do that.
He said as much.
He nods.
And would you rather go with him?
They shake their head and they go, I would rather none of this be happening and that life could just be quiet and simple again. But in many things, I do not get what I want. But you are of a status that you can get what you want.
Only by tiptoeing on eggshells, Sam. If I hardly want to have either of the Schwartzes be on a seaside town so far away. Heavens, I don't know what to do.
It starts to rain. And Willa, it's raining in the Tawn.
Great.
See that that Mackenzie is like, this parasol is not helpful. Because guess what? Parasols were not designed for rain.
No, it was for the sun. The lace is going to get ruined.
You see that Josh has taken off his jacket and just like put it over you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is rather lovely. He's wearing a white shirt and,
interesting.
Getting all wet. Ooh.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And you take shelter in front of a lovely little bookshop.
A bookshop. Are we in the bookshop, or are we at the little entrance?
There's a small awning that you are above, like that you are under.
I look at the bookshop and then I look at him. Where's Mackenzie and where's Susie?
You see that Mackenzie has started back down the road as she is kind of given up on this whole adventure.
Good.
Because she has seen Josh kind of doting on you, and seems to be going back to your home.
In the rain?
In the rain.
Willa looks between Josh and the bookstore. like, hey, can we go in here real quick?
He looks and goes, I mean, if you want to.
Yes.
And like Susie's already inside.
Yeah. Yes. Who's in the bookshop?
You are going through the stacks, and you see that, Susie has found herself in there. See that Nicholas is in there, and he's perusing the shelves and seems to be looking for a book, and like is dressed in finery. And you see that Lady Schwartz, Lucinda, is in there, and she is speaking to the shop owner, and you see that they are having a very heated conversation as the shop owner, Victoria, is leaning on her cane and like giving a withered look to Lucinda.
Willa is a very nosy person. So she like slinks over to like a fantasy section that's hopefully relatively close to this conversation just to hear.
Well, keep your wits about you. Please do.
Okay. A 12!
You slink into the stacks very easily, and you hear Lucinda go, Victoria, I will not ask you one more time. Where are my children? You must be hiding them because they were not. Benjamin has been missing all day, and, he has not been calling upon the ladies that he said he would be calling upon. And the carriage that was carrying Lady Amalia has driven into a ravine, apparently. And has she been recovered? No, she has not. Where are you hiding my children? And you see Victoria is kind of looking down her nose.
Seems like it's rather irresponsible of you to not know exactly where your kids are. And I would rather you not raise your voice in such an unsightly way in my shop.
I'm like pretending I'm reading a book, and I do like a pointed glance over at the loud commotion because this is a quiet place for reading, and they are disrupting. They're disrupting the sanctum of this store.
We're reading books. Are you trying to be noticed?
No, not really. I did want to go in here to find a book, but purposefully I went over to listen to the conversation, but I'm also now looking for a book. But now with this newfound knowledge, Willa has kind of ditched the idea of finding a book and wants to immediately run to Izzy's house and tell her what happened, but she's trying to like hold it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she's excited, she's very obvious.
Yeah. The conversation between the two ladies gets a little bit quieter as Lucinda is just kind of like hissing, and you don't even need to roll for this. You see that Lucinda from of her pulls out like a bag of coin and like tosses it on the counter, and you see Victoria look at it and look back to her and back down at it. Roll me another keep your wits about you.
Oh no. Well, that's a 3.
As you lean in, you do hear, there will be more where that came from if you just tell me exactly. And Lucinda looks over and goes, may I help you?
Oh, no, me? No, I'm just attempting to read the back cover of this book.
She looks at you and she goes, you're the one Duke McCartney is scripting.
Yes.
She kind of scoffs and she goes, oh, how the mighty fall, seems. And she picks up the bag of coin and goes, what do you hear about 2 young delinquent children running away against their parents' wishes?
That was me and Isabella at the age of 9 when we wanted to be pirates.
Roll to convince someone.
Fuck yeah. 14.
Lucinda rolls her eyes and goes, God, you nouveau riche are too stupid to even have a conversation with. And she, holds herself up and goes, Fine. Victoria, you'll be out of business before year's end. Mark my words. I do know how much my children spend in your little shop here by the amount of books they lug home. Neither of them will step foot in here ever again if they show. And she takes one coin out of the pouch and tosses it to Victoria and goes, There's your last little bit of Schwartz gold. Enjoy it. And she puts her things away and kind of settles up and glares at you again and then just kind of goes, Oh, hilarious. And walks off.
When Lucinda leaves, Willa whips over to Josh and she says, We need to go over to the Parker estate post-haste.
It's raining.
Did I stutter?
Is it acid rain? No.
He looks and goes, What a ghastly thought, acid rain.
Sorry, I picked it up from one of my fantasy books that I was reading.
Goes, What is so important about it, Isabella's house?
Because she leans in close and she's like, it's Izzy's potential love life on the line. And I have important information that she needs to have. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
You don't need to roll to convince someone. He's like, Susie, let's go.
Let's go. Oh, goody.
And she looks and she goes, Dear brother, you only have one jacket. Are you protecting her or protecting me from this rain?
Willa has the full intention of she's sprinting to the Parker's residence.
So he hands his jacket to his little sister, who takes it very, very happily. And she's just like, Boop. And you make haste.
Making fucking haste. It's rip dress. Rip. Oh well. And
you
running.
Make it to Izzy's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to the point you make it there just as Sam has kind of sat on the floor and is like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to help.
I bust in to the estate and I say, announcing Willa O'Bryant, Izzy, where are you?
Thank God.
Come up to my bedroom.
Okay. And then wait, Josh is with me, so I'm like,
We can. Do you want us here? Susie's already gone home because her house is next fucking door.
It's up to you if you want to stay. It's also up to Izzy if she wants you to.
You want me here?
I just grab Josh and I book it up the stairs. He can stand in front of the door.
He's very soggy. He's a very soggy little man. And you make it up the stairs. Izzy.
Jesus.
You hear the clambering of feet up your stairs, and Sam kind of scuttles and goes, It'd be so inappropriate if people saw me here, and I'm so sorry that could ruin you, Miss Parker.
We're still here. You shut up, okay?
I
not actually.
I knock on the door with the password. Crumpet.
Izzy opens up on the door and she's like, Daisy's being taken to a seaside town.
I have more information, and I push her inside the room. I close the door, but I crack it open so Josh can also kind of be in the conversation too. And I sit Izzy down. I'm pacing. There's mud all over Izzy's room right now. I was at the bookstore and I saw Duchess Schwartz, and she was demanding where both of her children were. She said Benny has taken off and that Daisy's carriage ran into a ravine and they haven't recovered her body. So what's going on? Why do we proceed?
Arthur, I need 2 horses. I'm gonna write a list of supplies. I need you to repair them and then follow post haste.
As Izzy just starts like writing down like a very like detail, like just like a quick list.
Portable shower in the car.
Arthur nods and gets everything together.
Wonderful. Thank you. Willa, I have extra pants. We are getting into riding clothes and we are going. Sam, please come with us and is Josh Chase outside my hallway?
Yes, it's an incredibly long story. I will divulge.
You hear Josh knock on the door and goes, "Should you need, I do have a racing horse. He's rather fast. He's rather good."
If you would not mind, I would love to take them. As Izzy goes behind a partition and starts changing into riding clothes.
Well, hang on. We don't know what ravine she was talking
do we know a decent map?
Is there an iconic ravine?
I'm sure if there is a seaside town that the young ladies go to get better, that there is probably a main road and there's probably known ravines. So like that narrows down some things.
Yeah,
I'm assuming, yes?
roll a mental check.
Yes.
Roll it.
Ha, dirty 12.
Ooh, yeah, you know the way to the seaside village, and you know that along that way there are rather large ravines that, should a horse get spooked on the way, could be very easy for a carriage to go by.
Okay. Izzy changes into clothes, gives list to Arthur, and turns to Josh. The racehorse would be wonderful about 5 seconds ago. Are we ready?
Hang on, wait a minute. Do you also have a change of clothes for me? And I like go behind the partition.
They're already laid out.
And Josh like turns and goes, "It's Miss O'Brien."
What, you didn't change? You didn't do that for me, Lord Chase.
Oh, scandal!
Went behind a partition, ma'am.
I'm also
And
going
Willa is behind the same partition.
I'm going behind a partition as well.
Just, my apologies, Miss Parker, but the thought of you disrobing does not.
Don't worry, I don't care for you either, and that's okay. Izzy like taps him on the shoulder, but picks Sam up from the floor and says, "We are both going to get the people that we can love and care about. So, chin up. We're going."
Miss Parker, you are being incredibly too kind for someone like me.
I am barely holding on, Sam. We're going.
Are we all going? I look at Josh. I'm like, "Are you coming?"
Josh is like,
he knows too much now.
Well, Josh is going, like, essentially he has left to go get his horse for you.
Okay.
Like, if he comes with, I don't care.
Sure, fine.
The team, at least solidly, is Arthur coming up in the rear, Willa, Izzy, and Sam. So if Josh comes, we're having a fucking party.
You make your way down the stairs, and Arthur is kind of like bracketing you and like making sure that your parents are well distracted.
Thank you. There is still supposed to be one person to visit by the name of George. Do give him my condolences.
You mean Nicholas?
George?
As you go to your front door, you see that there is a young man with books in his arms, and he's about to knock on your door, and Nicholas is there, and he goes, "Is this a bad time?"
Presently, someone is in great distress, and I am in a rush to go see them. I do wish that we could.
You are in
reschedule
riding
at a later
clothes.
date. I am in riding clothes now. If you would still like to have tea with my butler or my parents, that would be perfectly fine. But I have to excuse myself. I do apologize very profusely, Nicholas, but another time. And she curtsies, even though she's not wearing a dress, and like just skitters around him to go find Josh coming up with the horses.
I breeze past Nicholas and I'm like, "Oh, that's a good book. The second one, not great." And then she follows after Izzy.
You acquire horses, and we will bookmark it here as you are on your way to go save the Schwartz twins.
Oh, no.